At the center of Ever City, beneath the Valkyrie's statue, the beggars were enjoying the free porridge. While waiting, the MC is fascinated by the huge statue of the Valkyrie. After swallowing down his porridge and wiping his mouth, he's startled, seeing people choking on the not-so-free porridge, making him scared for his life. As he crashes down on the ground, the broken bowl shatters into pieces. A few moments later, at the Ever City prison, our MC finds himself with the beautiful and powerful Valkyrie, Leunzi. Holding her hand, a volcanic eruption occurs behind them. But suddenly, he wakes up, startled by the view in front of him. The Valkyrie he saw in his dream was sleeping peacefully right beside him. He clenches his hair, panicking that what he thought was a dream was instead a reality. At that moment, something pokes out of his head. He is delighted to see the little dragon has woken up as well. Blushing, the Valkyrie is now wide awake. She reveals that this incident will bring shame upon her noble family. Suddenly, a voice remarked, "The imprisoned Valkyrie looked well with the beggar." Lu Wanxiao, the perpetrator, wonders how the public will react when they hear the news about the magnificent Valkyrie sharing a prison bed with a beggar. Leaving them, she is excited that this news will be a burning issue. Peeking through his fingers, MC wants to know if Leunzi has been overthrown. Suddenly, he gets punched in the face as she commands him not to look. Acting innocent, the MC calls her out for double standards, saying he's a victim too. Being a gentleman, he closes his eyes, lifting the little dragon. The little dragon bites off the steel rods blocking the window. Valkyrie is not impressed and pouts while looking at him. Our MC gets depressed to see the look on her face, while she tells him to help her get to the window. Turning his head back, he is confused why a powerful Valkyrie would need his help. With no intention to reason with her, he denies her request. After hearing his words, she starts her infinite punches, and as a result, MC is forced to help. So she steps onto his shoulder, using it as a support to try and flee the prison cell. Kicking his face, she leaps out from the broken part of the window. He crashes down to the floor with her footprints on his head. Thinking that beautiful women cannot be trusted, an empty sack crashes on top of the MC's head. The Valkyrie from the outside is demanding that he cover himself up with the sack. Only then will she help him out. He puts the sack on, and the Valkyrie starts pulling him up while passing comments on his weight. Wiping off her sweat, she feels tired. The MC seems to recognize that because of the toxins in her body, she is currently no better than a weak woman. Gesturing for him to keep quiet, she orders him to follow her. They reach a huge boulder in the courtyard, which seems to be covering up a hole. MC questions the viability of the underground route, to which the girl replies that he can try other solutions to reach outside the city if he wants. They are now underground, crawling through a tunnel. MC is bleeding through his nose while his cheeks blush, and he questions how long they have to be in here. She says that they will have to travel for quite some time, and tells him that his physical strength is lacking. A change in scene takes us to a city engulfed in fire. People are running for their lives while warning others about the fire. A huge dragon is spitting fireballs while stabilizing itself on top of a castle. While the people are crying for help and running for their lives, the dragon that was wreaking havoc was the gilded fire dragon. Somebody is asking for the city lord's opinion on the ongoing situation. Appearing behind the city lord is Luo Xiao, the dragon master. Showing him a photo of Leunzi, Xiao questioned where she was, adding on that he had been too kind to this city, and it is no longer worth his time. In an attempt to sway him, Lu Wanxiao makes him aware that Leunzi shared a bed with a beggar and has tarnished her reputation. She wants to know why he is on her pursuit even after all this. Trying to tease him, she offers her daughter, who is pure, elegant, and has the skill to command the city. Without letting her finish, he grabs her by the throat. He is angered that they had messed with Leunzi. Moreover, he professes that if Yunzi is not a pearl, then Wanxiao is no less than dirt. His pupils grow smaller as his anger grows even bigger. Readying his dragon to attack and surrounding them with fire, he announces that they have no right to life. Xiao still has her in his grip. He is annoyed at her laughter and asks her reasoning for letting it out. Wanxiao has finally grasped the situation, angering him more. She adds that he left no stone unturned to win her, but Yunzi did not reciprocate his feelings. Continuing her laughter, she concludes that he came back as a dragon master to impress Yunzi, but she has ruined Yunzi. Xiao clenched his teeth as his tolerance had reached its end. Angry with the woman's judgment, his anger has still not calmed down as he announces that he does not care about Wanxiao's words, and Li Yunzi is only his to claim. As he wreaks havoc in the city, burning the whole city down to ashes. While the city is burning, a hand appears from a hole in the ground. It was Li Yunzi and MC. They had successfully escaped from the city. Li Yunzi recognizes the destruction to be a work of the Dragon Master, while MC is happy that they got out. He asks Li Yunzi what she is planning to do now that she has escaped. He offers her refuge at his place, since she has not yet recovered her strength. The scene changes, and we see a crescent moon light up the sky. Li Yunzi is sleeping comfortably in the bed. He is not asleep and shifts his gaze towards towards Li Yunzi, watching her sleep with tears dripping down her eyes. He is saddened that she had her power snatched. Remembering her face when he encountered her in the jail cell, he is ashamed that she only recognizes him as the beggar who had defiled her. The smell of fresh cooking wakes the MC up. Rubbing his eyes, he sits on his back, complimenting the smell in the air. He is shocked to see that Li Yunzi has cooked his silkworm and questions her. How could she have thought about eating them? She argued that she was hungry and there was no food in the house. As she is about to take a bite, in a state of panic, he promises to buy a meatloaf if she doesn't eat it. Walking through town, MC is bothered that even though she looks like an angel and has a great temperament, she does not have any sympathy for silkworms. His attention is captured by an old man surrounded by children exclaiming that a dragon is the most noble of all. He enlightens them that there is a power in this world that gives a chance to any being to turn into a dragon. There are people in this world who look for the laws of dragon transformation and help beings who have the potential to become a dragon pass through the gate. Such people are called dragon masters. A kid is fascinated by the story and wants to become a dragon master. The old man replies that young spirits enjoy silkworms as their delicacy, and if someone like that is found, they must capture them. Hearing the old man's information, MC is worried about the silkworms he had reared. He returns to his estate. Opening the main door, he calls out for Yunzi, saying that he has brought the meatloaf that he had promised. When a note catches his attention, he looks at the note and is confused as to where Li Yunzi went. The note read that she was going out for a walk and that his silkworms are safe. He is saddened by the fact that Li Yunzi has left him. Lifting his silkworm, he reminisces about his days as a powerful being, wanting it to return, but he also finds happiness in normality, as he has no pressures. But he is startled by Li Yunzi, cutting his sentences short. Sweating nervously, he looks back at her, asking her why she has come back all of a sudden. She gets closer to him and whispers that he needs to act as someone from her clan. The door to the estate is flung open by Xiao, grabbing both of their attention. Xiao asks if the man beside her is the one she wants to go on a journey with. She informs Xiao that the man was here first and had informed her clan about her situation. MC smiles as he is ready to take the initiative. Kneeling, he briefs her that the clan wants her back and no strangers are allowed to travel with her as she is such a beautiful person, additionally suggesting she not trust anyone of unknown origin. Putting up his act, MC acknowledges Xiao's background and suggests they travel together. The dragon's wings flap. At the head of the dragon is Xiao, standing tall. Resting on the dragon's neck are Li Yunzi and MC. MC is nervous as he deduces that this was the dragon that attacked the Ever City. He is curious why Luo Xiao is not in his father's court anymore. We are taken back in time with a scene change where we see the beautiful Li Yunzi practicing her sword skills elegantly. She noticed someone's presence and turned her head to ask who was there. She saw Luo Xiao peeking at her, and when this information became public, he was exiled from the clan by her father. MC's heart sinks deeper, thinking to himself that he would be lucky enough to be safe after seducing her when someone was exiled just for watching her practice. Before she could proceed further, MC notified her that he wanted to return to her clan, which is his reasoning for not abducting her. Side-eyeing the two, Xiao is annoyed at MC, who is always attached to Li Yunzi. Something startles both of them. Suddenly, the dragon has started diving. Scared by the dragon's action, he holds onto Li Yunzi tightly. The dragon lands on a cliff. Li Yunzi is startled, and MC is terrified as he accuses Xiao was trying to get rid of Yunzi. Immediately, he questions the MC and questions him. How dare he touch Li Yunzi when he is a member of the Li family? Trying to defuse the situation, she kicks the MC off board, planting his head on the ground. She says that Servant Zhu is a newcomer to the Dragon Tamer's Academy. Xiao compliments his bravery for entering the land before being a dragon master. Li Yunzi introduces the ancestral dragon city, which astonishes the MC. The ancestral dragon city is said to be created from a body of an ancestral dragon. With a scenic change, we are now at the Li family royal court. A small bowl crashes into the ground. A broken shard grazes Li Yunzi's face as she stands there without any motion. We are introduced to the head of the Li family, Li Ying, and Kong Tong, the lady of the house. He lashed out at Li Yunzi. Luo Xiao comes to her defense and confirms that he has turned the city to ruins. But how did the news about Li Yunzi spread so fast? Glaring at him, Ying asks if anyone had requested his opinion. Seeing the lord angry, Xiao quickly knelt, bowing his head. The lady, Kong Tong, supports Li Yunzi, claiming that she has achieved many war merits and has expanded their lands, so even if her reputation is stained, she is still a worthy commander. He orders that her troops be disbanded from her unit and transferred to other camps to continue guarding the western battlefields. The lord shifts his gaze towards the kneeling Luo Xiao, calling out his name. Xiao responds to his call, while the lord is impressed that his dragon is the gilded fire dragon. He commends Xiao, as he did not expect him to be of such worth after leaving the Li family. He praises praises Xiao for destroying Ever City because it showed that the Li family is not to be messed with, and he will provide Xiao with assistance as long as he is loyal. Xiao is delighted to hear the Lord's offer. Both the Lord and the lady leave the room, while Xiao is continuously thanking them for their gratitude, whereas the MC is confused if those two even noticed his presence because he was ignored the whole time. Li Yunzi is in a state of shock, trying to comfort her. Xiao says she needn't worry about others' opinions, and that he will try his best to be the Li family pillar and ask for her hand in marriage, exclaiming that he deeply cares for Li Yunzi, which annoys the MC. He continues ignoring the MC, and tells her that she doesn't need to force her answer, and his loyalty and feelings will stay true till the end. Turning back, ready to leave the room, he promises to show her proof of his love and loyalty. MC offers Li Yunzi a handkerchief, telling her to wipe off the bleeding. Ignoring his kind gesture, Li Yunzi turns around and leaves him while tearing up silently. This leaves him puzzled and kind of annoyed. Scene changes to nightfall, and we are taken to the Li family's guest room. MC is lying on the bed, pondering the fact that even though Li Yunzi is not angry with him, she probably does not care for him anymore. He noticed that Baichi has not come out for days for fresh air, and is staying inside his domain as if he were preparing for hibernation. Scene changes as the MC heads inside the spirit domain, which is an otherworldly space for dragon masters to store their tamed dragons. Poking a freezing cocoon of ice, MC is puzzled why there was extra ice on it. Peering inside the cocoon, he sees that Baichi has grown wings and horns, and says that this is a sign of the dragon's transformation, and Baichi will return to the dragon throne very soon. Soon they will be able to fly freely in the air like the old times. Touching the cocoon gently, he is disappointed that he is not a real dragon master, which led to Baichi being in this state. Promising her not to worry, he wakes up to reality, claiming he will figure out the mystery of Baichi's regression and help him find his strength. As the moonlight lit his face, he clenched his hands and made a vow to help Baichi become the best dragon and will fulfill his role as a true dragon master. Remembering Li Yunzi when she left the room earlier, he knows he has to find a safe place to overcome the pupation stage. A knock on his door asks him if he was asleep. The doors open quietly. Shuang, the maid of mistress, had asked her to pass on the recommendation letter to him for his admission in the Dragon Tamers Academy in Lichuan. Looking at the letter still in his hand, he wonders if she wants his dragon master identity to be real. If Luo Xiao decides to investigate him, the young maid is still there, and she advises him that once he has finished enrolling, be sure not to miss the Spiritling selection and choose wisely. A change of scene takes us to the Dragon Tamers Academy at Lichuan. A voice asks him if he is here for a visit, to which he answered that he was here to join instead. The voices of a girl named Fan Yanyan, a peach seller. She continued, she couldn't tell. Laughing at his words, she says she couldn't tell that the man was crazy. Trying to prove her wrong, he wants to make a bet. If he is not rejected by the person at the Copperwood Gate, then she will have to give him the basket of peaches. A bet should always be two-way, so she asks what her reward is if he is rejected. Turning away, he promises to buy her peaches if he is rejected. She teases him, believing that he can't buy all of her peaches. MC is now standing in front of a guard at the Copperwood Gate, letting the guard know that he was there for admissions and handing the guard his enrollment letter. The guard informs him to go in front of the academy emblem and wait for a while. He turns towards the girl, announcing his win. Abruptly ending his words, he sees that the girl is trying to sell the peaches to other customers. Many people are seen to be gathered at a mini harbor. The guard is contemptuous of the number of people they have and announces their departure. They all climb atop a sea dragon. There is Nan Yi, Li Xiaoying, and the MC himself. Others are telling him that even if he isn't successful, he must come back to the village as the cows and sheep need fertilizing to produce milk. They additionally advise him to share the bag of bacon with the others in order to make friends and not get bullied, which makes Li Xiaoying shy. He timidly tells them to go away, and he is aware of such things. Turning back at the MC, he introduces himself as Li Xiaoying and queries if the MC was a new admission too. Xiaoying turns to another person, trying to make conversation by asking his name, but he is answered with silence. The guard is at the helm. He informs them that the three at the back are late entrants and they will only be able to pick the left-out dragonlings. Hearing the news, Nan Yi is not bothered, while Li Xiaoying is shocked. A huge building, a dragon storage hall. A man present at the desk informs Nan Yi, Li Xiaoying, and Zhu Minglang to choose their dragonling. When they are sure, they should come to him and register by having their imprint done, and they will be the owner of the spiritling. A bird tries to fly off a branch of a tree while chirping. A sheep with purple horns is present as well. Li Xiaoying is excited as there are a lot of spiritlings, and is perplexed at which one he should choose. Nan Yi finally breaks his silence, enlightening them that they are too serious about choosing the spiritling. He advises to pick one randomly, and not to waste time in selection, because if they have time to waste here, then they might as well spend it on raising their own spiritling. Ming Lang notices the silkworm, and so does the baby crocodile. It lunges and grabs the silkworm, which startle the baby wolves. They start beating up the crocodile. He picks up the baby crocodile, choosing it as his spiritling, but the crocodile crocodile is not happy and instead pissed on Ming Lang. The crocodile laughed at his face. He recalls the words of the old man in his village who claimed young spirits like silkworms and chances of them turning into dragon is high. He notices that it has a hard bone on its head like a dragon's horn that is hidden. With this information available to him, he decides to take the dragon. He wants the crocodile to follow him as he tries to bribe it by offering a silkworm. Seeing the silkworm, the crocodile is happy to oblige. Red juice dripped from his finger. Touching the crocodile's head, he made a soul binding and named it Haya. And the sun is setting. In the accommodation area, Ming Lang has finished digging a small pond for his spiritling. The spiritling is happy and dives into the pond while he is off to take a bath. He steps into warm water. Resting in a tub, he feels relaxed. A new day approaches. Ming Lang is still in his bed, snorting, when Haya jumps on his face and wakes him up. He sits up, greeting Haya, who is working out. Seeing Haya training, he offers a silkworm and promises to take it to a nice place to train. A crowd of men was talking to each other, exclaiming that the female prisoner was a sight to behold. Ming Lang is worried about the rumors getting more absurd by the day. A scene changed to a place where there is a waterfall. As Ming Lang is seated beside a campfire along the river, Haya swims in the downstream flawlessly and earns Ming Lang's compliments. Suddenly, he notices that Haya is nearing the edge of the stream. He rushes off to save Haya. Jumping into the water, he catches the crocodile. Grabbing hold of a dead tree, he is taking shelter when suddenly, Haya frees itself from his grip and lands on the river's edge. Unexpectedly, the branch of the tree snaps, startling Ming Lang as he asserts that the situation is a dreadful one. Haya is alerted by the situation. It dives into the water, swimming towards his master, who is commanding him not to come any closer. Denying his orders, Haya is navigating the waters at a rapid pace. This evokes his upgrade, as he grows horns in his hand, and the horn on his head gets bigger. Trying to grab his master, he leaps into the air. Alas, it is too late to try and save him, as Ming Lang is pushed down the waterfall. Falling, he crashes into a rock. He is surprised to see that what he crashed into was not a rock but the horn of the waterfall dragon. The waterfall dragon peeks its head out of the waterfall, supporting Ming Lang. Duan Gang, a beautiful woman, scrutinizes him for trying to throw his body away. Dropping down from the dragon's head, Haya leaps into the air, only to find out that it was floating in space and was about to fall. Panicking, it starts waving its hand, but is swiftly rescued by the waterfall dragon. The dragon gently drops him on the ground as well. Seeing its master, Haya leaps onto him. While Haya is caring for him, he informs her that even if it has grown stronger, jumping off the waterfall like that will certainly cause him to perish. Duan Gang inquires if that was his spiritling and advises him to raise it well, as it has likely found its path to its dragon gate. Haya and Ming Lang thank Duan Gang, taking their leave. Petting Haya, Ming Lang proposes that it should now be able to defeat the group of wolf spiritlings that bullied him. Fixing his gaze on the waterfall dragon, Haya wants to defeat it instead. Recognizing his ambition, Ming Lang encourages him to defeat such a powerful creature and promises that someday he will be able to brawl with the waterfall dragon. And we arrive at the academy residence. A man's spirit is unconscious while he surrenders in defeat. His opponent orders him to keep his thoughts boxed the next time he is doing housework. The man states that this is not a worthy sight. It's just the regular spiritling brawls. Haya's stomach growls from hunger. Ming Lang hands him a fish and requests that he eat this for the time being. Next time, he will offer him a basket full of silkworms. The next day, we see Ming Lang carrying a basket full of silkworms, thinking to himself that working at the dragon storage hall allows him to exchange Haya's food for silkworms. But this won't be enough when Haya matures. He also remembers that Baichi likes to drink nectar, and when he wakes up, he should feed him sufficiently. Someone calls out his name. A man is disgusted at the smell and comments that he smells like the sewers. The man orders him to clean his classmates' houses as well, which does not please Ming Lang, prompting him to question why he would do the man's work. Throwing his broom on the ground, the man then challenges him to a spiritling battle, and the one to not show up is the loser and has to clean the front and back of the house. Ming Lang would have accepted the bet if he chose to participate with his private rules. However, he does not intend to do that, which means that the man does not need to clean his area, nor does Ming Lang have to do any of their chores. Having his challenge denied, the man is furious. He wants Ming Lang to talk to the wolf raiser in the yard if he is so courageous. The doors to the estate open. Haya is sadly chewing on a fish when Ming Lang announces his arrival, having brought Haya something he likes. He puts the basket of silkworms in front of Haya, exciting him. He looks at the fish in disgust and spits out the meat it had chewed off. Haya dives inside the basket of silkworms while Ming Lang suggests he calm down. Ming Lang thinks about earning more dragon food because as little Haya grows up, the food he gets from cleaning the dragon hall will not be enough. Clapping his hands together, he is thinking about accepting the missions available at the Academy's mission hall, as those missions seem to have decent rewards. Scene changes to the Academy's mission hall. Looking at the missions, Ming Lang is shocked to find that there are even missions for capturing a city, thinking that the Academy is careless with their postings. things. A mission notice headlines an attack on a neighboring city, which has a quarter of the neighboring city's tax as its reward. However, he is sad because if little Baichi had not deteriorated, then he could have given the mission a go. His attention goes toward another mission. The mission reads eradicate the spotted bluefish demon spirits, 1 grain of gold as its reward in half month's time for completion. A change in scenery takes us to Lichuan Lake, where we see Haya in the water and Minglang standing on the bridge. He figures out that the bluefish gather in a bunch and use their whiskers to notify their companion of danger. A whirlpool emerges under the bridge that he is standing on. He informs Haya that the demon fishes are faster, but he still has a chance against them. Haya is astonished that his master has figured out the bluefish already. Minglang takes him back to the waterfall and tries to train him there, because the resistance of the current will improve his speed and help him adapt to it at the same time. Throwing Haya into the river, he encourages Haya to do his best. Haya cries, loathing the place. Haya practices swimming upwards in the downstream. It is already night, and Haya is tired after practicing all day. He flops down on the ground due to tiredness, and Minglang updates Haya that their work is done for today. Wagging his tail, the news of the silkworm excites Haya, and he is eager to head home. A time skip of a week occurs. There is a whirlpool in the river. Haya has grown huge after his training. Patting his head, Minglang suggests they catch the bluefish demon today. They are back at the Lichuan Lake as he orders Haya to attack. He commands Haya to attack them and prey on the one that is alone. Haya catches one and tosses it to his master. Minglang compliments Haya while holding the unconscious bluefish. One by one, Haya tosses all of them into Minglang's hand as he is proud that the mission has been accomplished. We now arrive at the town of Phoenix Falls. Looking at his reward, a grain of gold, he exclaims it to be enough to buy a huge amount of good quality, fresh, and large silkworms. Voice in a distance is overjoyed to have finally found Minglang. It was none other than the peach seller. He promised to buy her if he lost the bet, but he has been avoiding her like the plague. Flaunting his Dragon Tamer's Academy emblem, he informs her that she is the one that lost and she owes him a busker of peaches. She is shocked to see the emblem and is surprised that he really was a student of the Dragon Tamer's Academy. Minglang remarks her not to change the topic and give him his rightful reward. Pouting her lips, she complies and tells him to come by her house when she is done selling for the day. Keeping the bets behind them, he asks her if she knows any place to buy silkworms and good nectar. She starts flaunting her business, saying that they are the biggest sellers of the whole Phoenix Falls town. She asks him the quantity he wants. Replying, he says he's got a grain of golden sand and wants to order 10 baskets of large silkworms and 10 jars of nectars. She points to a boat and passes comments on his financial situation, suggesting him to go to the boat to offer his services and earn some money. Displeased by her suggestion, he angrily asks her how she can disrespect her customer, but he is willing to let it slide since she is his acquaintance. She is having none of his offers, and is willing to give only 7 baskets of silkworms and 7 jars of nectar. Hesitantly, he accepts her deal, but she is now not paying him any attention and instead complimenting someone else. He is shocked at the sight of the Nian turning into a fangirl and feels like his respect is being diminished by the moment. Suddenly, he is shocked upon seeing the person whom Nian is talking to. A gorgeous woman is returning her compliments to Nian as well. Minglang mistakes her for Yunzi. Putting on his charismatic persona, he asks what's the reason for her visit and if she was here to meet him. His reaction puzzles the woman, and Nian calls him out for his bad flirting skills. Nian hands the woman, Nan Lingsha, some peaches, and tells her to ignore him. She accepts her gift and notifies her that she has to go back to the academy. Minglang wants to confirm the woman's name. He asks Nian and she confirms her name to be Nan Lingsha, further suspecting him to actually be a Dragon Tamer's student if he hasn't heard about such a beauty like her. Nian advises him not to fall for her as she is the young miss of the Nan family, and she will never give him a chance. He still thinks that was Yunzi, and is puzzled if he made a mistake. A change in scene takes us to the Li clan's royal court, where Commander Luo is being encouraged to take his chance. The woman gives him his mission to annihilate the Wutu, as their 9 cities have allied, requesting him to prepare because he is leaving tomorrow. Confidently smiling, he promises not to disappoint the lord and the lady. She will be checking the man's identity herself. Since Yunzi was set up, there will be suspicious people orbiting her. The information about Zhu Minglang irritates the man, but he accepts her suggestion. Clenching his teeth, he thinks to himself that Zhu Minglang really is a brave person. He is confused why Li Yunzi would lie for him if he had no connection with the Li clan. A huge sneeze is heard penetrating the walls of a house. Rubbing his nose, Minglang is intrigued by who would be calling his name. All of a sudden, he notices that Baichi's cocoon is starting to break. He is excited that little Baichi is finally emerging from her cocoon. Baichi elegantly comes out of a seal, hatched from her cocoon. Minglang recognizes him to be different and Haya is stun-locked. Minglang is happy to see little Baichi while he he rubs his head on Minglang's cheek. He has prepared nectar for little Baichi and wants her to grow well and drink to her heart's content. Haya is happy to see Baichi as well. Minglang introduces Baichi to Haya and announces that they are partners from now on. Baichi glares at him with dislike, which sends chills down Haya's spine, freezing him. A crowd of people is passing by his home, which catches Minglang's attention. Carrying his book, he heads out as he remembers that there was an end-of-the-month lesson today. Dragonlings surrounded the Dragon Tamer Academy's large class hall. Meanwhile, a rumor had spread about a gilded fire dragon on a killing spree in East Dawn City. The hall was filled with students. Someone mentioned that the Dragon Master was Luo Xiao, a recently clan recruit known for his ruthless personality. Behind Minglang, who was softly patting Baichi, several men were talking. One of them argued that every man who stepped onto the battlefield was there to make a name for himself. Ambitiously, another man declared he would conquer a city when his wolf spirit dragonized. Adding to the conversation, a third guy informed them that Nanye's spiritling should be the first to dragonize since his spirit was initially a dragon child capable of releasing low-level magic. Having heard this, the rest of the people present in the hall were enamored by Nanyi. Provocatively, one of the three men approached him, disrespecting Nanye's dragon child while insisting his wolf spirit might just beat it down. Annoyed by these comments, Nanyi enlightened him that even if the dragon child was an infant, it could easily deal with wild beasts such as the man's wolf. Stubbornly, the man refused to acknowledge his words. Pointing his finger at Zhu Minglang, he mentioned that Zhu Minglang was the only person he had not beaten in their residence courtyard. Looking at the man with disgust, Zhu Minglang considered him ambitious. However, he had not expected the man would stoop so low as to rile Nanyi against him merely to test Nanye's strength. Provoked and ready for a scuffle, Nanyi remarked that Minglang was the guy who had begged for a spiritling during his enrollment, questioning if he thought himself a hotshot after just a month. While he might disregard personal disrespect, he could not remain silent when someone was rude to little Baichi. At that moment, little Baichi woke from her sleep. Gracefully, she spread her wings and flew into the air, striking a sophisticated pose. Captivated by little Baichi, a girl asked Minglang what kind of dragon this was. Unimpressed by the scene, Nanyi remarked that a real dragon would never rely on bright feathers to survive. Defiantly, Baichi flew from in front of Nanyi towards a stone pillar. There, he perched atop the pillar, showcasing its elegance and beauty while seemingly taunting Nanyi. Provoked, Nanyi yelled out asking if Baichi wanted a fight, declaring his readiness to open his spirit domain. Without hesitation, Nanyi opened his spirit domain. From the domain emerged an aggressive-looking dragon child. The ambitious man from earlier was shocked at this sight, inwardly thankful he had been smart enough not to provoke Nanyi directly, instead pitting Zhu Minglang against him. Confidently, Nanyi struck a pose while informing the crowd about the difference between a dragon and a chicken. Commandingly, he ordered his green forest dragon to kill the chicken. Following this command, the green forest dragon shot a green power beam at Baichi, which Baichi dodged effortlessly. Now ready to unleash his attack, Baichi shot upward into the air, creating a whirlpool of thick air beneath him. Then, he blazed downward towards the green forest dragon with tremendous power, striking it on the chest and rendering it unconscious. His speed created a gust of wind that shocked the rest of the audience. A huge explosion occurred, causing smoke fumes to scatter everywhere. As the fumes dissipated, Baichi could be seen flaunting its wings, standing proudly atop his defeated opponent. The audience remained in disbelief at the scene before them. Nanyi was visibly angry and ashamed. Happily raising his hand, Minglang ordered Baichi to return. Obediently, Baichi heeded his master's call, sitting contentedly on his shoulder while others exclaimed that Baichi was indeed a true dragon. Opportunistically, a man attempted to make a good impression by claiming he had always believed in Minglang's power, despite his reserved nature. Meanwhile, all the girls in the hall flocked around him, charmed by his dragon's impressive skills. Collectively, they wished for him to become an astonishing dragon master. Two particularly bold girls grabbed his arms, one on each side. Rubbing his nose self-consciously, he privately reflected that his glory days had returned thanks to Baichi's ability to fight as an adult dragon. Looking at the ashamed Nanyi, he magnanimously recommended that Nanyi properly care for his dragon, noting its potential. Displeased by this advice, Nanyi ordered his dragon to retreat to the spirit domain. Suddenly, the seemingly unconscious dragon opened its eyes with unmistakable anger, letting out a formidable growl. Vines emerged from the ground, surrounding its body. Watching his dragon's advancement, Nanye's expression shifted to happiness. The dragon had now evolved into an enormous creature, towering menacingly over Minglang while attempting to grab both him and Baichi. The dragon's powerful growl blew wind forcefully at Minglang and the two women. Furthermore, he mockingly disparaged Minglang's dragon, asserting that a chicken with mere wind abilities could never compete with a real dragon. Though Minglang was prepared to forfeit, before he could finish, Baichi unexpectedly leaped into the air, shocking him. Now hovering impressively, Baichi looked down at the green green forest dragon while releasing a battle cry. Recognizing this distinctive sound, Ming Lang worried things were becoming serious. Aggressively, the green forest dragon initiated an attack by unleashing sharp vines directed towards Baichi. Returning fire, Baichi rained ice shards on the vines, freezing them instantly. Skillfully dodging all the relentless attacks from the remaining vines, she dashed towards the green forest dragon. Defensively, the green dragon released toxins from its hands and body, attempting to catch Baichi. However, Baichi repelled all the splashes of poison using air currents. Concernedly, Ming Lang advised Baichi to watch out for the venom. Escalating the threat, the green forest dragon sprayed toxins throughout the room, terrifying the other students who frantically searched for escape routes. The poison proved so potent it melted a substantial chunk of a nearby pillar. Urgently, someone suggested they flee for their lives. Meanwhile, something glowed from inside an ice ball. For protection against the toxins, Baichi had taken refuge inside this frozen sphere while the green forest dragon's vines surrounded it. Breaking dramatically from the ice ball, Baichi emerged with wind currents forming a spear around her as she launched towards the green forest dragon. As a backup plan, he opened his spirit domain, recognizing Baichi's audacious nature and preparing to force her into the spirit domain if the green forest dragon made contact. Declaring it was too late to forcefully recall his dragon, he suggested Ming Lang surrender because the attack would inevitably hit its mark, damaging his soul. With evident seriousness, Baichi prepared to make a decisive move. Before returning to the spirit domain, she spawned an ice shard on her tail. Flying strategically towards the green forest dragon, she aimed the ice shard directly at the dragon's left eye. With precision, the pointed tip of the icicle tapped the dragon's eye. A deafening scream echoed outside the hall. Horror filled the eyes of all listeners as they contemplated what kind of monsters these two dragons must be. A white, glorious wing popped out from all the smoke. Subsequently, Baichi flew out unscathed and landed on Ming Lang's hand, who felt proud of his dragon. As the smoke settled, they could see the mouth of the green forest dragon, which had been defeated and knocked unconscious with its hands. Nanyi knelt on the ground yet still refused to respect Ming Lang's dragon, expressing shock at seeing his own dragon. Furiously, he demanded to know what kind of dragon Ming Lang was carrying that could defeat a half-grown green forest dragon. Meanwhile, a stunning lady, teacher Duanlan, approached the scene. Ming Lang recognized her from somewhere. She ordered them to get back to their seats while commending their performances. She then handed him an ointment, suggesting he apply it to help his dragon recover. Furthermore, she told him to show gratitude as the blow wasn't severe. Duanlan began educating them about bloodlines from the front of the room. Moreover, she continued that ancient dragons had battle skills, great dragons cast magic, and azure dragons possessed mystic arts. To illustrate her point, she referenced Nanye's green forest dragon, stating it was a regular great dragon whose magic manifested as glowing green vines. Curious about Baichi's bloodline, Ming Lang raised a question. The teacher informed him that the Ice Morning Dragon's main bloodline came from the Silver Moon Winged Dragon, an azure dragon, while its secondary bloodline derived from a Starwind Ice Dragon, a great dragon. Additionally, she noted that in the earlier battle, his dragon hadn't used any azure dragon mystic arts but only utilized wind and ice magic. She then explained that all creatures had 4 phases: infant, growth, adult, and complete. Continuing her lesson, she told the class that the green forest dragon was a dragon child in its growth phase, whereas Baichi, the white ice morning dragon, was also a dragon child but still in its infant phase. Looking at his dragon, Ming Lang noted that currently, Baichi hadn't awakened his azure mystic art and would only unlock it in his growth phase. He added that Baichi didn't know any great dragon magic in the past either, so Baichi's regression wasn't a total reset. In an attempt to console Nanyi, Duanlan offered encouraging words, telling him not to be discouraged as he might obtain a powerful dragon in the future. Nevertheless, the disgruntled Nanyi looked at Ming Lang and his dragon, silently vowing to surpass them. The scene then shifted to show Baichi enjoying her nectar while Ming Lang worried about raising Baichi properly until her growth phase. His attention was suddenly drawn by a voice wishing someone well. Shocked to see teacher Duanlan in his residence, he noticed Haya getting comfortable with her and remarked that Haya was a pervert. Turning back to Ming Lang, she requested his help, to which he agreed, which was why she wanted his dragon Haya to help draw out the monster. Patting Haya's head, Ming Lang instructed him not to get caught and to jump out immediately if ambushed. Haya felt disappointed that his master was using him as bait, so he cried and went to Duanlan seeking comfort. Compassionately, she assured him he wouldn't be endangered due to his great power. Thus encouraged, Haya jumped into the pond. While swimming, Haya was pursued by the sea monster's shadow. Upon noticing the creature, he became terrified for his life. Swimming as fast as possible to stay alive, he found the monster following at an even greater pace, slowly closing the gap. Ming Lang grew worried for Haya and urged Duanlan to intervene, but she calmly waited for them to reach the waterfall. When the monster leaped out of the pond trying to grab the frightened Haya, Ming Lang anxiously attempted to recall him by opening a portal to his spirit domain. This action annoyed Lan, who warned him that overprotectiveness would prevent Haya from reaching his dragon gate. She emphasized that a dragon unable to overcome setbacks would never become a real dragon. Her words prompted Lang to abandon his plan, reflecting that eaglets never pushed from cliffs would never learn to fly, their potential remaining dormant. Nevertheless, he remained worried about Haya as a huge monster prepared to swallow him. As the sea monster approached to feed on Haya, he suddenly stopped running and turned around to fight back. Facing the demon head-on, he charged his powers, causing his horn to glow bright yellow. Then, jumping towards the demon, he struck it with his empowered horn. Consequently, the demon flew off in the air while the silhouette of the waterfall flood dragon appeared, ready to attack. The dragon emerged from the waterfall, prepared to finish off its prey. Swiftly, it struck at the throat of the monster, dealing a fatal blow and smashing it against the wall. Thus, it finally eliminated the monster completely. Lan expressed pride at this outcome, whereas Lang looked on in shock. Meanwhile, the defeated monster floated on the surface while other fish gathered around it. Suddenly, Lang remembered that Haya had depleted all his strength and became worried about him. The exhausted Haya was sinking to the bottom when the waterfall flood dragon caught him and lifted him into the air. Immediately, the proud Lang ran towards his dragon. He told Haya that even the waterfall flood dragon admired his bravery. In response, Haya flexed about his accomplishments while Lang smiled proudly, watching his dragon. He was about to ask something of Lan when he noticed her approaching the monster. Raising her hand, she extracted magic from the demon. Subsequently, she rewarded Lang with the demonic pearl she had just collected, explaining that it should accelerate the crocodile spirit's dragonization in Haya. She mounted her dragon and informed him not to thank her as he had earned the reward. Additionally, she invited him to collect a jar of frosty snow tree nectar that night. At nightfall, Lang was instructing Baichi to drink slowly. He observed that Baichi clearly appreciated the frost snow tree nectar much more. Looking at the contented Baichi, he decided to visit the library the next day to research information about raising dragons. The scene shifted to a brightly sunlit day with Lang in the library. There, he discovered that both the Silvermoon Winged Dragon and the Starwind Ice Dragon were fast-growing species, requiring only 1.5 years to progress from the infant phase to the growth phase. He calculated that Baichi would need only 1.5 years to reach maturity, but with sufficient nectar and nourishment from the spirit domain, this might be reduced to just a month. Clasping the book, he felt disappointed about not having frosty snow tree nectar, which would further reduce her growth duration to merely 22 days while simultaneously strengthening her icy feathers and ice magic. As he searched for another book, he also worried about Haya, whose appetite had increased after consuming the demonic pearl. His eyes then fell upon a particular book, which he opened to read that dragons enjoyed collecting large amounts of gold and silver. However, he returned the book to the shelf, dismissing this information, and considered returning to his previous profession instead. Suddenly, something caught his attention as he peered through the empty shelf. Looking up at her face, he felt confused about whether she was Nan Lingsha or Li Yunzi. Nervously attempting conversation, he greeted her and remarked on the coincidence of meeting her again. The woman, however, appeared displeased and questioned whether it truly was coincidental. Uncertainly, he addressed her as Yunzi and asked if she had come to visit him. In response, she released her aura and gathered power in her hands, declaring her actual intention was to finish him off instead. Lang felt a magical finger pointed at his throat, yet he expressed sadness at the thought that Yunzi had come to discard him for slandering her reputation. In response, she explained that his presence had become the poisonous thorn stinging all her happy moments. She asked if he had any final wishes. He reflected that he had considered her someone who wouldn't take anger out on others despite suffering greatly, noting she differed from other girls. Consequently, her gaze shifted away from him. Furthermore, he expressed gratitude for the enrollment letter she provided, allowing him to experience the academy. At this point, she halted her act, removing her hand in surprise upon learning Yunzi had even given him an enrollment letter. Pointing his finger at her, Lang was shocked to discover she wasn't Li Yunzi but actually Nan Lingsha, who then identified herself as Li Yunzi's younger sister. Confused by their names, he questioned how sisters born in the same house could have different surnames. To clarify his confusion, she explained that Li Yunzi followed their father's surname and aligned with the Li clan, while she took her mother's surname and aligned with the Nan family. Smacking the bookshelf behind him, she revealed she'd finally discovered he was the one who defiled Li Yunzi. Pushing up against him, she expressed annoyance that because of his actions, Nan Lingsha had to wear a mask in public. Attempting to defend himself, he claimed she was misinformed and that her sister could testify to his decent character. However, she enlightened him that they weren't close, suggesting Li Yunzi probably thought Nan Lingsha had plotted the entire situation. He found it amusing that she now considered herself a victim too, while contemplating how to calm his sister-in-law's situation. situation. Blushing, she insisted he had nothing to do with their situation and should stay out of it. After checking him out from all angles, she commented that while he looked decent, street rumors portrayed him as a cheap, dirty beggar. When he complimented himself on being quite handsome, she remarked on his shamelessness. Grabbing him by the collar, she demanded to know the truth about their situation, threatening extermination otherwise. He agreed to tell her everything. Kneeling, he grabbed her legs and began crying while explaining he had lived on the southern side of Mulberry Town, with mulberry trees and land in his name. He described leading a peaceful life until being robbed by Wutu bandits who left him destitute, forcing him to beg. In response, she kicked him in the face, ordering him not to lie. Though flung away, he insisted his words were true. She then indicated she understood the situation and also comprehended why Li Yunzi was sparing him, which intrigued him greatly. Looking down on him, she declared he remained a peasant. She reasoned that if he were exterminated, Li Yunzi would have to live with the humiliation of her reputation being tainted by a drifter. As she prepared to leave, she inferred that Li Yunzi was betting on his becoming a dragon tamer to salvage her reputation. She then picked up her mask and wore it around her face before departing, advising Ming Lang to take care of himself. Meanwhile, some men passed by singing praises of Luo Xiao while wondering about his whereabouts. While Ming Lang remained lost in thought, Baichi suddenly emerged from his pocket, helping him recuperate. Seeing his master's sadness, Baichi encouraged him, affirming he was the greatest genius of all. Placing Baichi on his shoulder, Ming Lang accepted this encouragement, declaring his intention to become a powerful dragon master soon without losing the bet. Preferring to start his journey gradually, he enthusiastically proclaimed that Baichi would reach the Dragon Lord rank. Others in the library claimed he had gone mad, noting many students went poor gambling on dragon selection and hoping the same wouldn't happen to Ming Lang. The scene then shifted to Ming Lang's residence, where he educated his dragons that anyone wanting to raise a dragon should not be poor. He explained that his family, the Zhu family, were master craftsmen, making dragon armor so rare it was hard to find even for 1,000 gold pieces. Nevertheless, he admitted not reaching the craft's pinnacle due to lack of desire. He assured them not to worry. Additionally, he pledged to visit the forge in the ancestral Dragon City state for employment to sharpen his skills and earn money. After a day's time skip, a ragged Ming Lang complained about exhaustion after retiring for years, expressing his immediate desire to quit. Looking at the armor, Ming Lang contemplated selling it to generals and nobles, which would help cover his costs and earn a living. Moreover, he felt pleased that with his current skills, he would eventually forge dragon armor. Recalling his upcoming expedition class in a few days, he resolved to prepare for it. Meanwhile, he expressed astonishment at Haya's growth, praising the demonic pearl's effect as Haya had grown significantly in just half a month. While patting his head, he informed Haya about his absence for a few days due to an expedition. Subsequently, he placed a spirit collar on Haya to prevent others from mistaking him for a wild black crocodile. Additionally, he instructed Haya to visit the front of the bridge every morning where a dark girl would feed him silkworms. The scene then shifted to the Li family's royal courtyard where they were announcing 2 marriages. The Lord commanded everyone to listen attentively as the women waited for the news, with one particularly excited about getting married. A woman named Mu Qing directed a subtle jab at Li Yunzi, stating her preference for maintaining dignity and cleanliness despite liking men. While Li Yunzi remained silent at these remarks, the announcement continued, revealing that last year, when Li Kongxi attended the Zong Palace's annual feast, she had charmed the 4th young master Du Cheng, and they would head to the Zong Palace for their marriage ceremony. However, Kongxi expressed willingness to comply only after meeting him personally and confirming he was a good man who respected his elders, requesting consideration of her wishes. One woman reacted with surprise that Kongxi was unfamiliar with Du Cheng, asserting that he had fallen in love merely by seeing her from a distance. As the announcement of another marriage approached, they declared their decision to marry Li Yunzi into the Lingxiao City State's Ling family. This news angered Xiao, who protested that everyone knew his profound love for Yunzi. Although he stood up to object, he was promptly commanded to sit down, which he did without hesitation. Another man questioned whether this could be a response to the invasion of Lingxiao City State they had previously discussed. Furthermore, he added that Li Yunzi had defeated many armies of Lingxiao City, earning hatred from their citizens and troops, thus questioning why they would suddenly be willing to marry her. The lady acknowledged his statement, clarifying that Li Yunzi would not enter as a regular bride but instead as a concubine. This prompted the man to question whether this still constituted a marriage connection. The audience reacted with shock at this revelation. Some deemed it ridiculous, while others feared the city's reputation would plummet. Rising to his feet, the Lord demanded silence and explained that due to Li Yunzi's actions, the Western Army could not defend against Lingxiao City State's invasion. After closing the matter, he dismissed the ceremony while Xiao trembled with rage, claiming claiming Li Yunzi belonged to him. A lotus bloomed in the water as some passing girls remarked that Li Yunzi might as well marry a servant, while another suggested her life would surpass theirs even as a concubine, calling her cheap for sharing a bed with a beggar. A man commented on the noise as he approached Yunzi, attempting to comfort her. Nevertheless, she immediately stopped him, insisting she was fine. He then offered to help her escape so she could go far away, find a good man, and lead a peaceful life. In response, Yunzi informed Uncle Cheng she had no intention of running away. Her answer angered him as he questioned whether she was willing to endure humiliation, arguing that the Li family's reputation should not outweigh her life. She then asked if he understood why the rebellion in Wutu remained unconquerable regardless of casualties. Uncle Cheng attributed this to the Wutu's desire for their fertile soils. With a sigh, she observed that the Wutu rebellion seemed endless. Attempting to change the subject, he urged her to focus on her own concerns. However, she slammed her hands down, firmly rejecting his request and insisting she would not flee. A cold breeze blew away the leaves as Ming Lang sneezed, holding his cape while sitting on a bird, suddenly realizing winter had already arrived. Meanwhile, his classmates conversed about the excitement of seeing an azure dragon capable of controlling weather, which they noted was unusual. They discussed how azure dragons possessed different mystic arts, some summoning rain and snow, others casting curses. Furthermore, they explained that even dragons of identical bloodlines could develop varying abilities depending on their training and care. Contemplating this, Ming Lang thought Haya would be invincible with heavy armor given his ancient dragon lineage. The scene then shifted to Glory Valley City where everyone landed and a man greeted the two teachers from Lichuan Academy. Nearby, Kubei expressed displeasure that the man had failed to foresee irrigation water shortages despite the frozen mountains. In response, the city lord of Glory Valley, Qianzheng, acknowledged his shortcomings with shame, explaining he had requested a rain dragon from the ancestral dragon city-state but couldn't control it. However, Kubei refused to waste time given the front line's critical situation. Smiling, Qianzheng pointed out that nightfall approached, cautioning that summoning rain then might freeze and damage their crops. The displeased Kubei departed first while Duanlan, following behind, informed Qianzheng they would discuss the matter tomorrow. Turning back to his students, Kubei announced that Duanlan's Deep River Dragon would demonstrate its mystic art by summoning rain, ordering them to wake early so as not to miss the demonstration. All students promptly acknowledged his instructions. As night fell, Ming Lang noticed a bright red sky behind the mountains, wondering if it signaled war. Thinking about Xiao, he recognized his own weakness if Xiao sought revenge after discovering Ming Lang had defiled Yunzi. While pondering this vulnerability, someone called out his name. It was Duanlan, who explained that rain could only temporarily nourish crops. They needed additional water for irrigation and livestock farming. She instructed him to examine the stream at dawn for any blockages impeding the waterway. He agreed to her request as she further warned him against venturing too far. Daybreak, Ming Lang inspected the waterways with Baichi beside him, teasing her about her small size and delayed evolution. Displeased, Baichi enlightened him that strength didn't derive from size. Suddenly, something caught Ming Lang's attention, a small canal attached to the larger one. Following this canal, he emerged from the bushes to discover a massive stone wall blocking the passage, evidently constructed by humans. Climbing atop the wall, he was shocked to find an enormous water reservoir behind the barrier. The scenery changed to show Ming Lang calling out for his teachers, Duanlan and Kubei, when he was unexpectedly interrupted by someone. It was City Lord Qianzheng, who asked if Ming Lang had seen the barricade during his upstream inspection of the water passageway. Ming Lang confirmed seeing it. Qianzheng then questioned whether he had been searching for his teachers to relay this information, which Ming Lang affirmed. Bowing his head, Zheng requested Ming Lang answer one question. As the teachers had gone to summon rain, Ming Lang expressed willingness to hear it. Zheng inquired whether Ming Lang believed soldiers fighting the Wutu rebels 50 miles away could offer resistance. At that moment, Ming Lang finally understood why water had been collected in that area behind the dam. As rainfall began, Zheng felt the drops strike his palm while complimenting Ming Lang on his intelligence. Thunder roared in the sky, creating lightning flashes as the city received a heavy downpour, bringing joy to farmers working in the fields. Soaked by rain, Ming Lang asked if Zheng doubted the front line's ability to repel the Wutu mobs. Feeling raindrops on his face with lightning striking behind him, Zheng prepared to answer. Zheng asked if Ming Lang knew about the reports from the front lines before they met, adding that the report to the Lord had been delayed as well. Upon hearing this, Ming Lang turned serious, finally grasping the situation, suggesting they should leave quickly. He then expressed gratitude to all students and both teachers for their kindness and compassion. The scene changed, yet the showering persisted. Meanwhile, armies marched across wet lands, roaring battle cries. In the rain, Ninyi questioned Kubei about merely spectating the tussle despite being citizens of the ancestral dragon state. Furthermore, he claimed they were dragon masters yet afraid of mere hooligans. Kubei Kubei explained a rule that after enrollment in the Dragon Tamers Academy, they weren't allowed to participate in war. Nevertheless, Duanlan sympathized with the Wutu, stating they weren't barbaric animals but simply people trying to survive. Just then, the upstream barricade started cracking. Consequently, water held by the dam burst out as someone announced a mountain flash flood's arrival. The flood drowned and swept away Wutu soldiers. However, despite the front line being drowned, another army remained behind them. One student observed that the flood collecting path was a low-lying plain, forcing Wutu soldiers to swim across muddy water to attack Glory Valley City. Additionally, they noted anyone diving into water could be defeated with arrows, making the flash flood a huge boon for the city. Ming Lang reflected on Zheng's words that the stronghold would be breached, their people could survive winter but not the Wutu rebellion. In retrospect, he was impressed by Zheng's preparations. Therefore, Ming Lang requested they return to the ancestral Dragon City to inform the Lord about the current situation, since frontline news had been delayed. Duanlan urged haste before the situation worsened, saying they had no time for explanations. Soon after, Duanlan, Kubei, and Zhu Ming Lang emerged from dark clouds, heading toward the ancestral Dragon City. Suddenly, flames approached them. Ming Lang warned them to watch out as they crashed with Luo Xiao and his gilded fire dragon, causing them to plummet to the ground. The three were angered by Luo Xiao's action, with Kubei questioning whether Wutu had dragon masters too. In response, an aggravated Duanlan opened her spirit domain, summoning her waterfall flood dragon. Meanwhile, Luo Xiao expressed happiness at seeing Zhu Ming Lang with the group. Ming Lang questioned why Xiao, as stronghold commander, wasn't reporting war situations to lords but instead trying to harm people. Xiao had gone berserk, laughing frantically while explaining he had worked tirelessly for the Li clan only to have his love given to someone else. As revenge, he refused to report the situation and planned to eliminate all messengers trying to inform the lord about the breach. Kubei labeled him a traitor and launched his dragon to attack. At once, the gilded fire dragon unleashed fire on the approaching dragon. Meanwhile, the waterfall flood dragon prepared a water ball, creating a protective wave for Kubei's dragon. Nonetheless, the gilded fire dragon forced its way through waves, surprising Kubei's dragon. Then it attacked, gripping Kubei's dragon by the throat. The waterfall flood dragon launched its attack, attempting to subdue the gilded fire dragon by wrapping around it. However, the gilded fire dragon unleashed flames, defeating both Kubei and Duanlan's dragons. Consequently, both fell coughing blood, causing Ming Lang great concern. Luo Xiao stood confidently, calling out both teachers for attempting to fight his dragon with two inferior ones. Using Ming Lang as support, Kubei informed him that regardless of his relationship with the Li family, destroying any student or teacher from the Dragon Tamers Academy would result in execution. Xiao dismissed this concern, arguing that with everyone dead, no one would identify the true culprit. Without hesitation, the gilded fire dragon fired hot flames, surrounding the three in an attempt to destroy them. At that precise moment, Ming Lang was startled by little Baichi emerging from his spirit domain. Meanwhile, the dragon relentlessly attacked them all with flames. Subsequently, something shocked Xiao as he stared puzzled at the scene before him. Little Baichi had evolved and now protected the group of three. Furthermore, Baichi grew angered at the gilded fire dragon and charged toward Luo Xiao to attack. Luo Xiao flaunted his ring emitting a light ray, remarking they thought he was defenseless. Donning his armor, he laughed confidently, challenging what insignificant attacks Baichi could possibly deliver. He blocked Baichi's attack head-on. Nevertheless, Baichi attempted to break through his armor, launching an ice shard attack at Xiao. The ice shard pierced his armor and struck the side of his head, pushing him down from his dragon. Duanlan was amazed to see Baichi had already reached its growth phase. Meanwhile, Luo Xiao, filled with rage, tried standing up, holding his face where red fluid flowed down as he called out to Zhu Ming Lang. The gilded fire dragon generated a huge fireball, ready to attack Baichi, who swiftly dodged. While Baichi was busy evading, the gilded fire dragon attempted to hold Baichi within its fiery grasp. The waterfall flood dragon came to Baichi's assistance, launching a python vortex attack. A water-formed python wrapped around the gilded fire dragon's hand, immobilizing it. Then Baichi used magic to freeze the water viper and launched an ice shard barrage. Kubei noticed this provided a good opportunity for his mud dragon to attack and readied it. However, Luo Xiao remained unbothered, wearing a smug smile. Duanlan and Mingling noticed something amiss and warned Kubei to be careful. Unaware, Kubei was pierced in his gut. Red fluid dropped from from his mouth as he discovered with shock that a dragon had attacked him from behind. Koubei fell to the ground as the dragon removed its hand from inside him and prepared to attack Ming Lang and Duanlan. Removing his hand from his head, Xiao promised to lay those two down as well. Consequently, Baichi shifted attention to the other dragon and launched another ice shard barrage, injuring the dragon and pushing it back. Using this opportunity, Baichi tried fleeing while carrying his master and Duanlan as Koubei's mud dragon brawled with the other dragon. Duanlan recalled her dragon, Qianlin, into the spirit domain. Then a portal opened under the waterfall flood dragon. Luo Xiao, back at the dragon's head, exclaimed he wouldn't let them escape. Though they seemed to have fled the battlefield, Ming Lang guessed Xiao couldn't catch them near the Dragon Tamer Academy. Yet Duanlan informed him Luo Xiao was on their tail. Indeed, Xiao followed right behind them, with the gilded fire dragon reaching out. At that moment, Qianlin emerged from his spirit domain. In an effort to protect Baichi, he took a blow to his face while half his body remained inside the spirit domain. This caused Duanlan to spit red fluid from her mouth as she suffered a soul injury. Catching the injured Duanlan in his arms, Ming Lang worried deeply about her condition. Holding Duanlan in his arms, Ming Lang hoped she could survive until they reached the Dragon Tamer Academy. Following Ming Lang's command, Baichi dashed off while the gilded fire dragon fought Qianlin. Recalling both Luo Xiao and the gilded fire dragon, Ming Lang vowed to repay them tenfold. Meanwhile, the gilded fire dragon opened its jaws and wounded Qianlin's neck, defeating him. Xiao, worried that Ming Lang would escape, commanded his dragon to ignore Qianlin and pursue Ming Lang instead. Subsequently, the gilded fire dragon tossed the flood dragon into the river below. The flood dragon splashed into the river, red liquid mixing with water confirming its defeat. Downstream near the waterfall, Nian called a crocodile dumb and stupid, yelling about him having pig's blood and questioning why he quit chasing halfway. The crocodile, Haya, was displeased with Nian bossing him around. She expressed annoyance that despite keeping his belly full and throat wet, he refused to help catch a few fish, behaving lazily like his master Ming Lang. Her complaints halted when she noticed something streaming downward, the defeated body of the waterfall flood dragon. The dragon crash-landed downstream onto the pond, startling both Haya and Nian. Haya approached the dragon, inquiring about its condition. In response, Nian warned him to retreat as water demons were present, ready to devour the flood dragon's body. Ignoring her warning, he defended against the demons, prepared to fend them off. A snake demon lunged at him, attempting to dig in its fangs. However, Haya caught its neck and nipped its body. He also fought off a crawfish demon and a fish demon. Unexpectedly, a frog demon with sharp claws and teeth lunged to attack the flood dragon. Haya pursued the frog, executing it with his sharp horn piercing its body. Upon reaching the tired flood dragon, he expressed concern. The flood dragon praised Haya for successfully defending against water monsters. Observing the dragon's worsening condition, Haya urged it not to depart before he could defeat it himself. Worried, Nian hurried off to find backup while calling for Haya. The scene then shifted to the infirmary hall of the Dragon Tamer Academy. Duanlan lay sick in bed as the master questioned how her condition developed. Ming Lang explained that Duanlan's spirit domain was attacked, causing a soul injury that put her in a coma. The master informed Ming Lang that she would have perished if he had arrived slightly later, assuring him they would do their best to save her. Additionally, he dismissed Ming Lang, advising him to visit the Li clan's royal court to explain the situation while he would inform the institution's head about Duanlan. Suddenly, someone barged through the door, notifying Ming Lang that a young lady had reported Haya was in trouble near the waterfall, surprising Ming Lang. Without hesitation, he jumped out the window, calling for Baichi. Ming Lang held onto one of Baichi's legs for support as they flew off, thanking Hong Hao for the information. Meanwhile, Hong Hao was shocked to see the small white ice morning dragon had grown so big and strong, becoming suspicious of Zhu Minglang's true identity. Under the waterfall, Haya defended the injured waterfall flood dragon against water demons. He expressed joy seeing his master and Baichi approaching them. Ming Lang was surprised at the sight of monsters slain by Haya. Subsequently, he ordered Baichi to eliminate all remaining monsters. Baichi unleashed her ice shard attack, freezing the entire pond. Meanwhile, a fish monster attempted escape but was frozen midair. Ming Lang expressed pride in Haya for protecting the flood dragon and keeping it alive. The scene then shifted to Haya taking a hot bath at a spring, healing himself. Patting his head, Ming Lang assured Haya he would return to normal quickly and promised to return soon. Afterward, he flew off resting on Baichi's back, headed toward the Li family palace. A young girl expressed confusion about how his flesh had grown so rapidly when it was rotten not long ago. Haya replied that he wasn't a chicken to be rotten. Meanwhile, Haya's skin peeled off his body. The girl noticed this and asked if he was instead a snake, since he was shedding skin. Haya turned back to see what she meant, only to notice his skin slowly drifting away. Furthermore, he worried his end was near because his skin and body weren't intact. She attempted to calm him, but noticed the red fluid he spilled now started to glow. Consequently, Haya was terrified, believing his time was up due to an incurable disease. As Haya panicked and cried, the young girl approached her master, who was healing the flood dragon, requesting him to examine the black crocodile apparently approaching death. He calmed the girl, explaining it was merely a dragonizing process. The girl was flabbergasted hearing this, while Haya remained confused. The master told the girl to stop being excited about something that wasn't hers and instructed her to inform Duanlan's family about something. She pleaded with her master to save Duanlan. He clarified that Duanlan hadn't died but her soul was severely damaged. Without spirit medicine from her family, she would slumber forever. The girl rejoiced that Duanlan was still alive and asked if she would recover with the spirit medicine. The master explained that even with medicine, recovery would take about half a year. While they conversed, Haya enjoyed himself in the water. The scene changed to Minglang, satisfied he was finally arriving at the ancestral dragon city. Dragon wings flapped as men surrounded him, pointing drawn bows and ordering him to land for inspection. He obeyed and underwent checking. Seeing a carriage, he deduced a bridal party was occurring, and the soldier's presence indicated its significance. Showing his crest, he identified himself as a Dragon Tamer Academy student there to buy dragon food. While the soldier checked his badge, he apologized for interrupting their rest and requested to leave. After returning his crest, the guards ordered him to depart. One guard questioned why they interrogated that man when they ignored others. Another explained he required checking because, as a dragon master, he could be a city soldier. Hearing about their plans failing if he was a Li family scout with war reports, they would hold out 5 more days before entering the Eternal Dragon City state. This made Minglang aware of the guards. 2 days later, someone welcomed Mr. Yang to their ancestral Dragon City state for the bridal party. It was the Lord announcing that the ancestral city state and Lingxiao city state were now allied. Walking while carrying a box, Mr. Yang rejected this alliance, instead revealing he came to negotiate peace because the bridal party peace agreement dissatisfied him. Unhappy with Mr. Yang's words, the Lord asked what displeased him. Throwing his carried box, Mr. Yang explained that Lingxiao city state had sent many gifts showing sincerity, yet he was angered that Patriarch Li neither mentioned surrendering the 4 western cities nor allowed meeting with the crown princess. The lady expressed annoyance at his demands for surrendering the 4 western cities when they had agreed on marrying Li Yunzi as a concubine. Sitting down, Mr. Yang enlightened her that those conditions belonged to the past, whereas his current demands represented new conditions. Furthermore, he added he could patiently await their response. A guard became riled up, declaring he wouldn't tolerate disrespect in the Li family's royal court. Another guard restrained him, questioning why Mr. Yang suddenly demanded the 4 western cities, noting such desires equated to declaring war. Putting a jujube in his mouth, Mr. Yang informed the Lord that the East Dawn stronghold had been breached with rebel armies heading toward Lichuan Plain to raid the granary city. He then spat out the jujube, commenting it was disgusting. 2 guards were shocked hearing about the breach. When one became aggravated, Mr. Yang pointed a sword at his throat, claiming Lingxiao city state never wanted peace but merely sought to humiliate the Li family. Li Yunzi arrived with Minglang, commanding Li Pinga, the aggravated guard, to step back. This surprised both Mr. Yang and the royal court guards. Carrying a red-stained sack in one hand while holding her sword in the other, she claimed Mr. Yang would be useful to her, thus sparing his life. Mr. Yang stood to greet her, informing her they were ready to escort her to their lord immediately, yet maintaining their demand for the 4 cities. Dismissing his words, Li Yunzi gave him her carried bag as a present, requesting he accept it on behalf of his city lord. He made a snarky comment, telling her to save all gifts for their wedding night. Angrily, Li Yunzi threw the sack down, loosening the ribbon tying its ends. Minglang suggested he open it as he might find a familiar face inside. The sack opened, horrifying Mr. Yang. He slipped down in terror, recognizing 3 familiar faces. Minglang stated that Envoy Yang exploited the peace treaty as distraction while planning to infiltrate the ancestral dragon city secretly through the gorge. He questioned if Yang had planned to sneak in from the border and claim their 4 western cities. Lying on the ground with sweat covering his face, Yang attempted fabricating a lie. As Li Yunzi walked toward him, Minglang revealed she had already sent her queen's guard to the gorge, eliminating all his troops. The guards remarked on their sliminess, negotiating peace while planning an ambush. They added that without Li Yunzi, they would have lost the 4 western cities. Pointing his finger at Li Yunzi, Yang tried threatening her, believing execution imminent. However, she informed him she was sparing his life. Hearing this news, he expressed happiness and gratitude. She noticed the face he cared about wasn't among those displayed. Additionally, she demanded he write a proper letter but first eat all food he had spilled. Terrified of her, Yang agreed to her terms. Others in the hall praised Yunzi as she approached the lady. She then snatched the contracts from the lady's hand, startling her. Opening the scroll, she crossed out the contract, throwing the brush at 2 ladies who had called her a body seller negotiating for peace. The Lord furiously asked if news about about East Dawn Stronghold's collapse was true and why he remained ignorant of it. Ming Lang informed the Lord that Luo Xiao was a traitor who had eliminated all messengers. He added that rebels would have reached the ancestral Dragon City already if Lord Qianjing of Glory Valley City hadn't built a dike causing a battlefield flood. The Lord acknowledged the situation and questioned if the man speaking was the one who had falsely claimed clan membership and led Yunzi from Wutu. Yunzi defended him, informing her father she had requested his assistance due to skepticism about Luo Zhao's presence. Looking at Li Yunzi, the Lord commended her and reinstated her as military guards commander. If receiving command again, she requested the Flying Birds Battalion command token as well, assuring him she would quell the rebellion. When the Lord hesitated providing military power, she interrupted, notifying him that 5 days earlier she had dispatched the Flying Bird Battalion to support Glory Valley City. He felt compelled to give her power, furthermore re-establishing her as crown princess. Mr. Yang, having prepared the letter, awaited Li Yunzi's final confirmation before sending it. Finding nothing wrong with the letter, she gave her approval. Heading out, she expressed gratitude toward Ming Lang, who nodded in acceptance. Turning back toward her, he inquired about their next destination. She briefed him they were heading to Glory Valley City in the east. Li Yunzi and Zhu Mingling flew together atop a broadsword. He questioned if just the two of them were making the journey, to which she answered they were sufficient. The scene changed to the middle of the ancestral Dragon City state, where a kid pointed his finger, notifying his father that someone was cruising through the air. The father informed him that the flying person was a demigod. The boy expressed puzzlement about what a demigod was. Subsequently, his father educated him that demigods were beings who exceeded human limits and used extraordinary abilities. Hearing this information, the boy grew excited and expressed desire to become one as well. Patting his head, his father explained that demigods were created through inheritance of ancient gods' legacies, requiring unique physiques. The boy started tearing up after listening to his father's words. Comforting him, the father said that Huang had great spiritual sense, possibly allowing transformation into a dragon and opening a spirit domain, making him a dragon master. Huang barked and wagged his tail in agreement. The boy eagerly asked who between the two was more powerful. Although favoring both, the dad ultimately sided with dragon masters, explaining that demigods couldn't withstand a dragon master's full-scale attack. Carrying Huang, the boy promised to become a dragon master. The scene then shifted to the clouds, where Li Yunzi and Zhu Minglang rocketed toward their destination. Minglang smiled happily, engulfed in his feelings. When Li Yunzi questioned what he was doing, caught off guard, Minglang tried explaining he was enjoying the atmosphere up there. Feeling shy, she expressed concern not about his face but rather the placement of his hands on her waist. He quickly removed his hands and attempted defusing the situation, claiming he merely feared falling. While still justifying his actions, she kicked him off her broadsword. He plummeted down, panicking. Noticing the fall, Baichi came to the rescue, supporting Minglang's fall on his back. Minglang felt fortunate that Baichi could change size at will, otherwise, he would have perished. He shouted, requesting Li Yunzi to wait, assuring her he wasn't angry about her actions. The scene changed to Glory Valley City, engulfed in flames, with death chants heard. Li Yunzi approached the burning city, observing the destruction before her. She inquired about the war's condition when a soldier arrived to greet her. The guard expressed astonishment that Glory Valley City residents had held off rebels for nearly 5 days. He noted the ancestral Dragon City was blessed, as these rebels weren't even competent enough to invade the Lichuan Plains. Holding a red pouch, she ordered General Lu to lead half the Flying Birds Battalion to Western Lin City, following provided instructions. With badge and red bag in hand, she demanded his return by dawn or threatened severe consequences. Grabbing the red bag and accepting her orders, he questioned whether she now possessed military power. Minglang entered the scene, asking Li Yunzi how she would handle the remaining rebels after sending away the Flying Birds Battalion. She questioned if Minglang felt scared by their decreased forces. Striking a nerve, he attempted confidence, exclaiming he wasn't scared. Li Yunzi floated in the sky as all rebels noticed her looking down upon them. Standing on her greatsword, she enveloped it in fire, preparing to strike. With a swift, wide strike, she created a huge flame wall, establishing a boundary. She offered rebels the choice between living or perishing. Additionally, she warned that anyone crossing the boundary would be deemed a rebel and shown no mercy, while those staying behind would have their lives spared under her rule. One rebel tried inciting others, claiming she merely bought time and shouldn't be trusted. He added that one person couldn't match an entire legion, encouraging rebels to march without fear. The rebels prepared to charge as Li Yunzi readied herself to confront them. Unexpectedly, Zhu Minglang held her hand, stopping her attack and assuring her he would handle things. Standing atop Baichi, Minglang announced defeat to anyone crossing the fire boundary, while Baichi prepared to unleash his ice magic powers. Baichi launched his ice shard attack, exploding the area and flinging off rebels. One man charged ahead, claiming he would never become a slave. However, Baichi's magic froze him in place. Ming Lang offered them the same deal Li Yunzi had proposed earlier. Nevertheless, the rebels hesitated to retreat since their second chief was dead, leaving them nowhere to go. Ming Lang grew annoyed at their lack of fear regarding demise. Subsequently, Baichi launched toward the rebel army, using her ice shard barrage to freeze all charging rebels. Ming Lang stood near the boundary, still attempting to prevent rebels from advancing. The rebels grew nervous seeing Ming Lang towering over them. Li Yunzi approached the rebels, calling out for Zhang Tuo. She questioned whether they ever experienced hunger under her jurisdiction. Zhang Tuo felt shameful acknowledging their bellies were always full. Furthermore, she asked if they received clothes to wear as well, which he confirmed. She compelled Zhang Tuo to persuade them to surrender their weapons, promising to help them survive winter. Alternatively, if they insisted on attacking, they would face defeat. Zhang Tuo confided his belief in her but expressed uncertainty about convincing others, letting red fluid drip as she declared this her word. Ming Lang held her hand, releasing herself from his grip. Li Yunzi promised that clothing and food prepared for Wutu's winter survival would arrive before her bleeding stopped. Otherwise, her life would be theirs to claim. All Wutu rebels dropped their weapons. Due to excessive bleeding, Yunzi felt nauseous and began falling. Ming Lang caught her and asked if the extra terms added to Yang Xiu's peace treaty were requests for food and clothes rather than cities. Yunzi confirmed he was right. He thought the decision foolish, but she disagreed, calling it fruitful instead. When he queried if she had sent the Flying Birds Battalion to bring food and clothing, she agreed and hoped they would arrive in time. As war dust settled with sunrise, a dragon flock headed toward the rebels. One observer expressed joy, announcing the promised food and clothes had arrived. The flock leader greeted Li Yunzi, confirming completion of her assigned mission. She then ordered all rebels to seek refuge in Glory Valley City to receive their provisions. The rebel army knelt, showing gratitude for Li Yunzi's greatness. The scene shifted to Glory Valley City Lord's mansion, where a bedridden Li Yunzi was being cared for by Ming Lang, who attempted feeding her jujube porridge. She informed him she could eat independently. He refused to surrender the food, ordering her to lie down for proper blood circulation. Although he fed her, she vomited a spoonful because the food was too hot. Looking at the resting Baichi, she asked if that was the dragonling he chose at the Dragon Training Academy. He denied this, saying she already knew Baichi. This confused her. Subsequently, he reminded her that when trapped in the dungeon, he broke the window bars enabling their escape. Flustered, she warned him against speaking another word unless he wished to face her wrath. Seeing her anger, he commented on how cute she looked. He also mentioned meeting her sister at the academy. She expressed uncertainty about whom he referenced, prompting him to question if she had multiple younger sisters. Li Yunzi asked how they came into contact. Ming Lang recalled their first encounter on a bridge where he mistook her sister for her. He believed her sister and the Nan family weren't involved with her situation at Wutu. Ming Lang expressed intrigue about whether she thought they might be involved in setting her up. With sadness in her face, she informed him she had many enemies. Attempting to comfort her, he held her arms and promised help, making her blush. She warned him to be careful about people encountered at the bridge since she wouldn't be present at the academy. The room door opened with someone calling for Li Yunzi. Lord Qianjing arrived to inform them about Wutu matters being settled. Jing appeared flustered by the sight and ran away, slamming doors shut, assuming he entered the wrong room. Ming Lang complimented Jing's talents. She acknowledged Jing's talent and informed Ming Lang that while her Wutu matters were resolved, holding her hand, Ming Lang wished she would be careful and avoid unnecessary acts again. In an attempt to charm her, he stated that if she fainted again, he wasn't sure someone as good-looking as himself would be her caretaker. This prompted her to kick him out, frightening Jing, who questioned his well-being. The scenery changed to the infirmary hall. Looking at a dragon, Ming Lang commented on who had failed to discipline their dragon that was stealing food. The dragon turned around, noticing Ming Lang, who was delighted to see Haya. Patting Haya, he expressed ecstasy that Haya had dragonized, allowing them to finally make a soul contract. Biting a puncture in his hand, he dripped red fluid on Haya's head, summoning a spirit domain for Haya as their soul contract completed. Haya excitedly entered his spirit domain. Having noticed his 5 senses and awareness had strengthened, Ming Lang was intrigued whether this represented spirit force power. Teleporting inside his consciousness, he found a light portal. Reaching out to it, he extracted a ball. Looking at the ball, he confirmed if the light portal was harvesting soul pearls. Breaking from his consciousness, he expressed surprise at a dragon master's special abilities and planned to harvest soul pearls after several days. A girl walked toward Ming Lang, holding a long paper sheet after seeing his his return. She approached and handed him the paper, making him uncomfortable. The scene changed to Ming Lang and Haya standing on a cliff edge. Haya held a demonic spirit with his mouth while Ming Lang extracted its power. They looked skyward to see Baichi approaching. Baichi landed near Ming Lang and dropped a ball containing numerous gold pieces and jewelry, surprising Ming Lang. He wondered if Baichi had looted a dragon's den using his secret hiding technique. Baichi confirmed Ming Lang's predictions. A dragonling emerged from the bushes. Ming Lang noticed the dragonling while standing on a tree branch. A huge dragon appeared behind him, frightening the dragonling. The dragonling fell off the edge after being attacked by the dragon, crying out for help. Ming Lang summoned Baichi and ordered him to save the baby dragon. Both rushed toward the falling dragonling. Ming Lang reached out his hand and caught it, offering the dragonling shelter if its siblings couldn't tolerate its presence. However, he noted the dragonling's survival depended on itself. Ming Lang was startled by a huge roar. Looking behind, he found a huge dragon glaring at him. Ming Lang deduced it to be the dragonling's mother, suspecting him of stealing her baby. The dragon raced to reach Ming Lang and attack him. Ming Lang noticed the dragon pacing toward him and flew out of the way, causing the dragon to crash. He then ordered Baichi to flee this place. The scene changed to the dragon storage hall, showing the baby dragon to the master. Ming Lang inquired if the baby dragon would survive. Looking at the resting dragonling, the master promised he could keep the dragon alive as long as it continued breathing. Hearing this, Ming Lang praised the master as a living god. A girl present accused Ming Lang of being a flatterer. She added that Ming Lang possessed bad intuition, having made a soul contract with a common forest dragon that had no future due to its disability. The master embarrassed the girl while Ming Lang laughed at her. He enlightened her that the dragonling was stronger than a normal forest dragon. He expressed displeasure with Ming Lang's reaction and demanded he pay his debts in full. Ming Lang evaded payment, claiming an urgent matter needed attention. With a scene change, we were brought to the foundry. Ming Lang stood near his craft bench, holding his dragon armor, thrilled it had finally been completed. A man called out to him, holding a paper, questioning if the man in the poster was him. The poster displayed his face drawn ugly in red, shame of the Valkyrie. The notice asserted he had tainted Li Yunzi. Hearing this, the man's doubts cleared. There were rumors in town that the man in the poster had defiled the Valkyrie. He suggested Ming Lang change his face to save himself. However, Ming Lang remained unconcerned. Ming Lang departed while the man worried about Ming Lang lacking peace of mind due to gossip and rumors. The scene shifted to inside the academy hall. Ming Lang studied when some folks requested his audience. Turning back, he queried their business, stating he didn't take underlings. A crowd of displeased men stood behind him, pointing his finger. Yin Yaozu, the Yin family's young master, annoyingly responded they weren't there to become his underlings. Ming Lang denied the poster's claim, confidently lying that he and Li Yunzi met in Wutu and fell in love. He claimed city folks couldn't accept him enchanting the crown princess. His lies confused the crowd, making them nervous. Attempting to deny these lies, Yin Yaozu confronted him, questioning how someone like the crown princess could be interested in a peasant. The question made him panic as he insisted he wouldn't dare doubt her choices. Ming Lang pressed him, saying he spread lies around town yet claimed not to doubt her choices. Yaozu stuttered, getting his words out while Ming Lang confirmed Yaozu was spreading rumors about Li Yunzi. Grabbing Yaozu's shoulder, Ming Lang promised forgiveness and to forget what he just heard. Ming Lang lectured them that love lacked direction and loving someone required no reasoning. He thanked everyone for admiring his lover on her behalf. Additionally, he urged them not to spread false rumors about her if they respected her. Yaozu grew more frustrated, telling him to kamikaze because while alive, she would always be shamed by people. Yaozu and his goons began name-calling and disrespecting Ming Lang. Ming Lang doubled down, recommending they keep their illusions about being with Li Yunzi to themselves since she now belonged to him. Their threshold for taking disrespect had been crossed as they openly challenged Ming Lang to a duel. Ming Lang agreed to accept the challenge if they came one at a time. His words were abruptly stopped by Yin Yaozu, claiming he alone sufficed to defeat a peasant like Ming Lang. Ming Lang dismissed Yaozu's words and started over. With a confident look, he declared their coming at him individually would merely waste his time. Therefore, he wanted all of them to sign a joint letter of challenge. Ming Lang's announcement shocked the men challenging him. A nervous Yin Yaozu asked if he was crazy. Ming Lang denied this. Yaozu grew enraged and called Ming Lang to the river arena. The scene changed to the Dragon Tamer Academy arena. A man spread news about Ming Lang receiving a joint challenge, recommending everyone visit the river arena. Nan Lingsha listened to the man's announcement about Ming Lang's battle from the shadows. At battle time, all participants arrived at the river arena. On one side stood Ming Lang, while 20 challengers occupied the other. Someone approaching Ming Lang caught his attention. It was Li Yunzi, the crown princess, admired by the challengers. Ming Lang inquired about her business. The lies about Ming Lang being Li Yunzi's lover had already reached her, so to facilitate his lies, she came taking interest in his affairs. Ming Lang recognized the girl as Nan Lingsha and whispered she had nothing to do with with this matter. The men on the opposite side envied Ming Lang, questioning if it was indeed Li Yunzi, coping by claiming she wasn't there for Ming Lang but simply passing by. Ming Lang wanted to know what Ling Xiao wanted. Stomping the ground, Yin Yaozu's frustration grew increasingly larger. Ling Xiao reached for Ming Lang's arm. Holding it, she informed him that to clear Li Yunzi's name, she could play along with his act and help him out. He recalled Yunzi's words about watching out for her, as he was now forced to do something unwanted. Every opponent grew even more enraged, passing increasingly vile comments toward him. Yaozu noticed Ling Xiao being very intimate with Ming Lang, preparing him to unleash fury upon Ming Lang. Baishu, a Dragon Academy teacher, announced the battle's commencement, informing challengers they could summon their dragons. Ming Lang's opponents summoned their dragons. Looking at the dragon lineup, Baishu felt the pent-up rage. Shifting his gaze toward the confident Zhu Ming Lang, he commended his courage for fighting alone. Baishu informed Ming Lang he could summon all his dragons or save them to summon whenever he preferred. Ming Lang summoned Haya out of the spirit domain. Haya roared confidently out of the domain, donning dragon armor. Seeing this, Ming Lang felt satisfied that the refined dragon armor fit Haya appropriately. Haya's confidence vanished as he started sweating profusely, seeing a line of dragons awaiting him. Haya asked Ming Lang if they should flee. His words displeased Ming Lang, who informed Haya running wasn't an option and facing those dragons constituted today's training. Nevertheless, Ming Lang attempted gaslighting Haya into considering his aura, status, and why he would be summoned if Ming Lang didn't believe in him. He began planning with Haya, instructing him to keep them together and act as bait, something he excelled at. Haya started by taunting all opponent dragons. He lifted his back toward them and dropped excrement in front of their faces. This action infuriated the dragons as they all approached him furiously. Haya choked one dragon and launched it far away, crashing it into the ground. Yaozu ordered his red-clawed plague dragon to finish off Haya. Following this command, the plague dragon flew upward, summoning lightning as it attempted attacking Haya. Haya was terrified of the incoming attack. Haya dodged the incoming attack, confusing the plague dragon. His attention focused on a charging wolf. Subsequently, he collected powers at his horn's tip and hit the wolf with his dragon horn charge, defeating it. He then mocked other dragons and their masters. One dragon master felt sad as Wolf Dragon was defeated, while another commented on Haya being similar to his master. Yin Yaozu commanded the dragons to attack in unison, frightening Haya and wiping the smugness off his face. Ming Lang opened the spirit domain, summoning Baichi. Furthermore, he ordered Baichi to freeze the dragons at the back. Baichi flew out of the spirit domain, unleashing her attack, attacking relentlessly as Haya fled. The ground dragons were frozen, as were the flyer dragons. This scene of frozen dragons terrified the dragon masters. Suddenly, one summoned his candle dragon to melt the ice and maintain team confidence. The candle dragon erupted from the ground with surrounding fire, reaching Baichi in the air, ready to attack. A command to roar was shouted as the ice melted, intriguing Baichi. Meanwhile, Ming Lang warned Baichi to watch for incoming attacks. Baichi swiftly dodged the fire beam projected at him. A dragon then let out a huge roar, planting its claws in the ground and unleashing a sandstorm that trapped Baichi. The plague dragon sprang into action to deal the final blow. It swept in for an attack, but Baichi blocked with an ice shield. He then formed a sharp ice shard on his tail, ready to dispose of the plague dragon. With intent to finish it off, he launched the ice shard straight at its throat. Yaozu feared for his dragon's life. However, the attack failed to reach the throat, only reaching its vicinity because Baichi had been held by green vines that trapped her. The green vines flung and plummeted Baichi to the ground. Yaozu thanked the dragon's master for saving his dragon. Nevertheless, the dragon master worried about his own drag. The plague dragon leaped in for an attack, intending to finish the battle. Suddenly, it stopped in its tracks, noticing an incoming attack from Haya. Haya dealt a heavy blow, catapulting it away. The plague dragon crash-landed on another dragon. Ming Lang worried about Baichi and inquired about his condition. Baichi assured Ming Lang he was alright. Unexpectedly, a dragon crept up behind him. Although Ming Lang noticed its presence, the candle dragon had already launched its attack, targeting Ming Lang. And that was it for today. Comment dragon if you watched the full video. Let's get 1,000 likes, and we will release part 2 as well.